the lead in Uganda. Welcome to the show. My name is Julie F. Nantaba, and we are definitely kicking this off. Robert Chirabo will definitely be joining in just a bit. But for now, let's have a look at what the local scene has. And we're starting off with stories from Uganda, definitely, which is the local scene. President Yoweri Museveni has invited independent members of parliament-elect to be part of the forthcoming Chankwanzi retreat, slated for April 7th to 14th. The directive was revealed by the NRM National Treasurer Barbara Nekesa Owundo as the independent MPs returned their forms expressing their interest to work with the ruling party. The Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, led 30 MPs elect who are independents to the NRM Secretariat to return forms expressing interest to work with NRM. The Speaker says independent MPs will participate and benefit from all affairs of NRM. The Speaker also urged the NRM legal team to support those independents who have elected related court matters. Meanwhile, NRM National Treasurer Barbara Nekesa Owundo says the President has directed the independent MPs be invited to the Chankwanzi retreat. It is within the legal framework for an independent MP or any party to sign an MOU to work with the ruling party. Independent MPs will be presented to the NRM chairman, President Museveni, during the Chankwanzi retreat in April to sign an MOU after swearing in May. Now, as it rains hard, we continue on with stories from the local scene, and therein, the NRM Electoral Commission Chairperson, Dr. Tanga Odoy, has announced the commencement of picking of interest forms by party members seeking to fill the 2 East African Legislative Assembly vacant slots. Dr. Tanga Odoy told the media that the exercise commencing on Monday, 23rd, which was yesterday, will close on Wednesday, March 25th, which is tomorrow. In 2022, Parliament elected NRM members James Kakoza and Dennis Namara as part of Uganda's representation team to the East African Legislative Assembly. However, following their election to Parliament of Uganda in the 2026 general elections, the duo now ceases to represent Uganda and their party, thus calling for by-elections. While addressing media last Monday afternoon, from the NRM Electoral Commission offices in Kampala, the 6-member panel announced a short program kicking off yesterday, March 2026. And according to the NRM chairperson, Dr. Tanga Odoy, voting will only be limited to members serving in the 11th term of Parliament. Parliament has set 30th and 31st for nominations of the slots, as well as 14th April 2026 as voting dates. The NRM Central Executive Committee and Parliamentary Caucus will convene on Thursday 26th and Friday 27th to approve the candidates. For other pending national local council elections, the party is preparing a flag bearer basket ready as the Electoral Commission sets election days. Now, Minister of State for Labour and Industrial Relations, Esther Anyakun, confirmed that Ajok Vicky, the Ugandan housemaid accused of killing her Syrian boss, is still alive, with negotiations for her extradition ongoing. The Uganda's embassy in Cairo engaged human rights organizations in discussions with Syrian authorities for a diplomatic rescue. A 33-year-old mother of 2 from Opaya village in Bobi sub-county, Omoro district, Vicky Ajok, traveled to Syria in September 2025 to work as a domestic worker, but was later arrested in Damascus on January 29, 2026, accused of murdering her 87-year-old employer, Huda Sharawi. Reports later emerged in February claiming she was to be executed. Information later dismissed by the Syrian ambassador to Uganda, Dr. Tamo Mustafa, who clarified that legal proceedings were still ongoing. State Minister for Labour, Esther Anyakun, has told the media that Ajok is still alive and negotiations are ongoing for her extradition to Uganda. Syrian authorities were working with human rights organizations and Amnesty International. However, Anyakun was concerned over briefcase labor export companies luring unsuspecting Ugandans into risky jobs in the Middle East. The ministry remains in contact with Ugandans stranded in the Middle East. Finally, the People's Front for Freedom Buganda Deputy Chairman Dr. Michael Lulume Baiga has questioned provisions in the upcoming village council elections, arguing that they raise concern about transparency and fairness. He also said presence of military personnel in the city causes panic among citizens. Dr. Baiga was addressing a weekly press conference at the party offices. Recently, the Electoral Commission and the Ministry of Local Government announced preparations for LC1 and LC2 village chairperson elections. The president also directed the allocation of 56 billion to facilitate the exercise. But People's Front for Freedom Party is concerned about the president's directive. The party demands the Electoral Commission issues clear guidelines for the LC1 and LC2 elections. Meanwhile, the People's Front for Freedom PFF Buganda Vice Chairman Dr. Michael Lulume Baiga, on behalf of the party, asked government and security agencies to explain the deployment of military personnel in Kampala City. PFF also condemned the rampant evictions of people through implementing the trade order. The party also revealed plans of giving women an opportunity to their stories through articles to be published in a magazine on 6th April. All right, now let's quickly take a trip to the global scene as we start off with the obvious matters on the scene, and that is matters Iran and USA as well as Israel. US President Donald Trump announced the discussions are ongoing with Iran to determine whether a broader agreement can be reached, saying that this time Iran means business. They want to settle, they want peace. But Tehran denied the talks with the US are taking place, with Iran's parliamentary speaker saying such claims are fake news and being used to manipulate financial and oil markets. Oil prices dropped by about 11% after Trump announced a delay to attacks on Iran's power plants for 5 days amid his claims of talks. Despite Trump's comments, U.S. Central Command says U.S. forces continue to aggressively strike targets in Iran as Iranian missiles and drones continue to target Gulf countries, including Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, and Kuwait overnight. Israeli warplanes bombed Beirut's southern neighborhood as the Lebanese Health Ministry said the death toll from Israel's attacks on the country had reached 1,039 people, with 2,786 people injured since March 2nd. Now moving on, at least 34 people have died and dozens of others have been wounded after a Colombian military plane with 125 people on board crashed after takeoff in the south of the country, officials said. Minister of Defense Pedro Sanchez said on X that the tragic accident occurred in Puerto Reguizamo, a remote municipality in the Amazonian province of Putumayo, which borders the neighboring South American countries of Peru. John Gabriel Molina, the governor of the Putumayo department, told local news outlet Caracol Noticias that 34 people were killed and 21 are still to be identified. The Air Force said the Lockheed Martin-built Hercules C-130 had been transporting soldiers to another city in the province. Sanchez said the plane hit the ground just 1.5 kilometers away from where it took off. Ammunition being carried on board detonated as a result of a fire on the aircraft, he added. There was no indication of an attack by illegal attackers. Sanchez said Carlos Fernando Silva, the commander of Colombia's Air Force, said 2 planes with 74 beds had been sent to the area to fly the injured back to hospitals in the capital, Bogota, and elsewhere. Now finally, onto the continent, police in Nigeria say 15 people have been arrested following allegations of sexual assault at a community festival in the southern Delta state. Videos circulated online showing young men openly attacking women who were on their own. The clips sparked widespread anger, leading to the hashtag Stop Raping Women to trend on social media, and renewed calls for accountability over gender-based violence were made. Delta State Police have rejected claims circulating online that the Aludo Festival in Ozo was a rape festival. Local spokesperson Bright Edafe told Channels TV on Monday yesterday that no formal report of rape had been made in connection with the festival. The videos taken during the Aludo Fertility Festival in the city of Ozoro show groups of young men chasing, stripping, grabbing, and assaulting women in public spaces, in some cases while people are filming. The police spokesperson described the scenes as alarming, disgusting, and embarrassing, and said they had arrested several suspects identified from the videos and transferred them to the State Criminal Investigation Department. Edafe told Channels, "We have spoken to the 4 girls and all of them said nobody raped them. Among those detained is a community leader widely named as the organizer of the event." The police say investigations are continuing. Interesting festivals that take place around the world. But anyways, that brings us to the end of what we have on the foreign scene as well as the local scene. It's raining now, seriously, no longer a shower, but has reduced just a bit from the time we started. My name is Julie F. Nantaba, and Robert Chirabo Nyonyintono is here to take us through what the dailies have. But first and foremost, Robert, good morning.
Good morning to you, Julie.
It's a pleasure always doing this with you.
Indeed, indeed. And of course, it's a pleasure that we know someone has woken up. Hundreds, millions are awake watching us, so we don't take them for granted.
That's true.
Good morning. How are you? Are you fine? Was your night fine? We praise the Lord for you and the grace that you've woken up alive and watching us. Right. Now, so many stories are trending in the print media, but let me begin with a new vision that has good news for the teachers. Guess what it is? The long awaited for salary increment. Now, both science and arts teachers to earn 8 million a month.
Wow.
According to the new vision. Now, that is going to make us shift for those that are in school when feeling what profession you must do. I think that doctor, lawyer may come to an end, and now, because previous was doctor, lawyer, engineer,
right,
and now you see teacher, because you know 8 ma per
well,
month.
the passion and calling therein lies. Teaching is a calling. It's supposed to be a calling. So for anyone who joins teaching out of for the money as a foundation, I'd rather you change your location.
But there are many who did join teaching by then when it was TTC free.
Okay.
So, and I remember our days, people who to make some jokes about a course known as MDD, and the one who goes to a TTC. There are some words they used to say that I won't pronounce them on set. Now, moving on, government announces new teachers welfare plan, and elderly person receives SAGE amidst delays. Now, this is the social assistance grant for elder persons, that 25 kk per month that they receive. 25, you know. But this is doing wonders when you listen to testimonies coming in from some of the elder persons who are able to use it. Someone will tell you, I bought some hens, I bought a goat, because it comes usually quarterly. So after about 3 or 4 months, you get some 75 or more.
Right, true.
Now, still moving on, Bank of Uganda offers cheap loans to small businesses. So if you have a small business, well, go and find out how do you get that money to boost your capital. And Trump announces very good talks with Iran on ending war. This is long awaited. When we begin feeling the pinch on fuel and other commodities.
However,
this
Iran denied those talks. But anyways, let's move on.
Then this controversial story, I don't know, Julie. 30 independents to work with NRM. Now, at one time, when you're an independent, we castigate you.
Right.
At the other time, we are willing to work with you. Elections come, multi-party politics. Now, let me look at when the 1995 Constitution was promulgated. When was that? The vision brings you more. Allow me quickly run to the Daily Monitor. Here is a big headline.
Right.
Julie, I must tell you, Robert Kyagulanyi Sentamu did MDD at Makerere University. And this man, I don't know, but I believe he could have passed with a first class. Because when you look at the headline on the Daily Monitor, puzzle of Bobi Wine's escape. And one of the things he must have mastered was the art of movies. You know,
interesting.
Script writing, being very good at that, because it is a puzzle. Now, according to the Daily Monitor, puzzle of Bobi Wine's escape. Collaborated information from security circles and those close to Bobi Wine indicate the politician may have left the country at the end of January through Rwanda, landed in the Middle East before proceeding to UK and eventually the United States of America. I won't go ahead with what is happening on X as quoted on that page, but I'll come to the lizard with whom we may agree. He says, should we expect another movie with the same title regarding the puzzle of Bobi Wine's escape?
Well, wouldn't be surprised.
Up to now, security still says no one was looking for him. However, him and many say, no, you are looking for the person.
Very interesting.
So,
Quite a
depending
circus
on
there.
which side of the coin you are and what you want to believe, but the official information from security says no one was looking for this man.
Right. Now on to Kenya with the Daily Nation. The Daily Nation there has the plot thickens. That's the headline. Kericho mass grave. Numbers don't add up. How many bodies were buried? Is it 12, 13 or 14? Why the conflicting figures? Legal doubts are the court orders permitting burials, the burials genuine. DCI says this is not clear yet. Quite a lot to look into that particular story, and also two Jews wars deepen after coming out of hiding. And Kindiki's office wants 450 million extra for hospitality choppers. And TSC requires 30 billion annually to absorb 44,000 intern teachers. All of those stories from the dailies that we bring you this morning. Grab yourselves a copy of the dailies. For now, in the midst of the rain, in the midst of the cold, while you sip on your Uganda coffee, we take a short break and we'll be back with another conversation. Just be sure to save the number 0709-602592. It's a WhatsApp number to which you can contribute to whatever the conversation might be. But also head to X at UBCTV Uganda and click follow and be part of the conversations on there as well. For now, let's have a short break. We'll be right back. Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining UBC TV this morning. It's a light showered Tuesday morning here in Uganda, and at the end of the day we bless God and thank God for the weather because he remains good and he is a good God. Now the government has reaffirmed its commitment to leveraging the country's young population as a key driver of national growth as preparations ramp up for the 4th annual National Labour Convention and Expo 2026 set to be held at the Kampala Serena Hotel from April 15th to 16th, 2026. The event will focus on the theme Unlocking Potential for Uganda's Youth Labour Force, Advancing Productivity and Expanding Opportunities of Decent Work. Now, this gathering will bring together academia and developing partners to create a clear path forward for the country's job market, with over 75% of the population being the youth as the lead in Uganda. Welcome to the show. My name is Julie F. Nantaba, and we are definitely kicking this off. Robert Chirabo will definitely be joining in just a bit. But for now, let's have a look at what the local scene has. And we're starting off with stories from Uganda, definitely, which is the local scene. President Yoweri Museveni has invited independent members of parliament elect to be part of the forthcoming Chankwanzi retreat, slated for April 7th to 14th. The directive was revealed by the NRM National Treasurer Barbara Nekesa Owundo as the independent MPs returned their forms expressing their interest to work with the ruling party. The Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, led 30 MPs-elect who are independents to the NRM Secretariat to return forms expressing interest to work with NRM. The Speaker says independent MPs will participate and benefit from all affairs of NRM. The Speaker also urged the NRM legal team to support those independents who have elected related court matters. Meanwhile, NRM National Treasurer Barbara Nekesa Owundo says the President has directed the independent MPs be invited to the Chankwanzi retreat. It is within the legal framework for an independent MP or any party to sign an MOU to work with the ruling party. Independent MPs will be presented to the NRM chairman, President Museveni, during the Chankwanzi retreat in April to sign an MOU after swearing in May. Now, as it rains hard, we continue on with stories from the local scene, and therein, the NRM Electoral Commission Chairperson, Dr. Tanga Odoy, has announced the commencement of picking of two interest forms by party members seeking to fill the two East African Legislative Assembly vacant slots. Dr. Tanga Odoy told the media that the exercise commencing on Monday, 23rd, which was yesterday, will close on Wednesday, March 25th, which is tomorrow. In 2022, Parliament elected NRM members James Kakoza and Dennis Namara as part of Uganda's representation team to the East African Legislative Assembly. However, following their election to Parliament of Uganda in the 2026 general elections, the duo now ceases to represent Uganda and their party, thus calling for by-elections. While addressing media last Monday afternoon, from the NRM Electoral Commission offices in Kampala, the six-member panel announced a short program kicking off yesterday, March 2026. And according to the NRM chairperson, Dr. Tanga Odoy, voting will only be limited to members serving in the 11th term of Parliament. Parliament has set 30th and 31st for nominations of the slots, as well as 14th April 2026 as voting dates. The NRM Central Executive Committee and Parliamentary Caucus will convene on Thursday 26th and Friday 27th to approve the candidates. For other pending national local council elections, the party is preparing a flag bearer basket ready as the Electoral Commission sets election days. Now, Minister of State for Labour and Industrial Relations, Esther Anyakun, confirmed that Ajok Vicky, the Ugandan housemaid accused of killing her Syrian boss, is still alive, with negotiations for her extradition ongoing. The Uganda's embassy in Cairo engaged human rights organizations in discussions with Syrian authorities for a diplomatic rescue. A 33-year-old mother of two from Opaya village in Bobi sub-county, Omoro district, Vicky Ajok, traveled to Syria in September 2025 to work as a domestic worker, but was later arrested in Damascus on January 29, 2026, accused of murdering her 87-year-old employer, Huda Sharawi. Reports later emerged in February claiming she was to be executed. Information later dismissed by the Syrian ambassador to Uganda, Dr. Tamo Mustafa, who clarified that legal proceedings were still ongoing. State Minister for Labour, Esther Anyakun, has told the media that Ajok is still alive and negotiations are ongoing for her extradition to Uganda. Syrian authorities were working with human rights organizations and Amnesty International. However, Anyakun was concerned over briefcase labor export companies luring unsuspecting Ugandans into risky jobs in the Middle East. The ministry remains in contact with Ugandans stranded in the Middle East. Finally, the People's Front for Freedom Buganda Deputy Chairman, Dr. Michael Lulume Baiga, has questioned provisions in the upcoming village council elections, arguing that they raise concern about transparency and fairness. He also said presence of military personnel in the city causes panic among citizens. Dr. Baiga was addressing a weekly press conference at the party offices. Recently, the Electoral Commission and the Ministry of Local Government announced preparations for LC1 and LC2 village chairperson elections. The president also directed the allocation of 56 billion to facilitate the exercise. But People's Front for Freedom Party is concerned about the president's directive. The party demands the Electoral Commission issues clear guidelines for the LC1 and LC2 elections. Meanwhile, the People's Front for Freedom PFF Buganda Vice Chairman Dr. Michael Lulume Baiga, on behalf of the party, asked government and security agencies to explain the deployment of military personnel in Kampala City. PFF also condemned the rampant evictions of people through implementing the trade order. The party also revealed plans of giving women an opportunity to their stories through articles to be published in a magazine on 6th April. All right, now let's quickly take a trip to the global scene as we start off with the obvious matters on the scene, and that is matters Iran and USA as well as Israel. US President Donald Trump announced the discussions are ongoing with Iran to determine whether a broader agreement can be reached, saying that this time Iran means business. They want to settle. They want peace. But Tehran denied the talks with the US are taking place, with Iran's parliamentary speaker saying such claims are fake news and being used to manipulate financial and oil markets. Oil prices dropped by about 11% after Trump announced a delay to attacks on Iran's power plants for 5 days amid his claims of talks. Despite Trump's comments, U.S. Central Command says U.S. forces continue to aggressively strike targets in Iran as Iranian missiles and drones continue to target Gulf countries, including Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, and Kuwait overnight. Israeli warplanes bombed Beirut's southern neighborhood as the Lebanese Health Ministry said the death toll from Israel's attacks on the country had reached 1,039 people, with 2,786 people injured since March 2nd. Now moving on, at least 34 people have died and dozens of others have been wounded after a Colombian military plane with 125 people on board crashed after takeoff in the south of the country, officials said. Minister of Defense Pedro Sanchez said on X that the tragic accident occurred in Puerto Reguizamo, a remote municipality in the Amazonian province of Putumayo, which borders the neighboring South American countries of Peru. John Gabriel Molina, the governor of the Putumayo department, told local news outlet Caracol Noticias that 34 people were killed and 21 are still to be identified. The Air Force said the Lockheed Martin-built Hercules C-130 had been transporting soldiers to another city in the province. Sanchez said the plane hit the ground just 1.5 kilometers away from where it took off. Ammunition being carried on board detonated as a result of a fire on the aircraft, he added. There was no indication of an attack by illegal attackers. Sanchez said Carlos Fernando Silva, the commander of Colombia's Air Force, said 2 planes with 74 beds had been sent to the area to fly the injured back to hospitals in the capital, Bogota, and elsewhere. Now finally, onto the continent. Police in Nigeria say 15 people have been arrested following allegations of sexual assault at a community festival in the southern Delta state. Videos circulated online showing young men openly attacking women who were on their own. The clips sparked widespread anger, leading to the hashtag Stop Raping Women to trend on social media, and renewed calls for accountability over gender-based violence were made. Delta State Police have rejected claims circulating online that the Aludo Festival in Ozo was a rape festival. Local spokesperson Bright Edafe told Channels TV on Monday yesterday that no formal report of rape had been made in connection with the festival. The videos taken during the Aludo Fertility Festival in the city of Ozoro show groups of young men chasing, stripping, grabbing, and assaulting women in public spaces, in some cases while people are filming. The police spokesperson described the scenes as alarming, disgusting, and embarrassing, and said they had arrested several suspects identified from the videos and transferred them to the State Criminal Investigation Department. Edafe told Channels, "We have spoken to the 4 girls and all of March alone, but of course January is covered, February is covered, and we want to right now in just a bit speak to SP Michael Kananura, who is very, very profound in this field, to just speak to us and shed a light or give a piece of advice." Good morning, Afande.
Hey, good morning, Tina.
It's a pleasure having you this morning.
The pleasure will be with you at this morning.
Yes, please. So 36 already recorded in just 2 months in Q1 of the year 2026. That is worrying. What do you think is the problem? What aren't we getting right?
Well, the fact that I don't know what they call it is still as before the Atlantic and the change of pattern and crashes. That's where we have always had the vulnerable users being involved. The recent weeks, we have seen most of the affected people being passengers in vehicles. That most of the crashes we have had and seen people get injured and others die have been those traveling in vehicles, both passenger service vehicles and also trucks. And what has been causing these crashes is the careless overtaking. When I talk about careless overtaking, it is a situation where people overtake to the risky situations or risky places where we cannot see what is ahead of us, and then vehicles continue to overtake. Just for instance, the crash that occurred in the rail, where a truck was trying to overtake more than 2 vehicles ahead of the truck, and then he collided with an oncoming omnibus where 3 people died, and then 8 others were injured. And so many other crashes that are a result of overtaking in the street space, left, the corners, overtaking in different places, where of course pedestrians are crossing, and so many other places we know when we talk of overtaking in the places that are risky.
Right.
We also have the issue of speed. If you look at the crash that occurred was yesterday in Masindi, where someone knocked 2 riders and the pedestrian went ahead to knock the perimeter wall of the hotel and entered inside. So that is the key. That we need really investigation. That is typical speed. So those 2 issues, if really people can observe the speed limit and then know that overtaking in places where they cannot see what is coming from ahead of them. I'm telling you, these crashes will be reduced because we all know that enforcement cannot be everywhere.
Right.
We know.
Right. The reports show that passengers are emerging as the hardest hit group this time round. Why do you think it's like that?
Yes, I've already explained about it, that we had most of the crashes involving vehicles, and most of the affected people, those traveling in the vehicles, people traveling in omnibuses, communes, and like before, you know, the previous reports, we have always talked about the vulnerable road users, meaning the motorcyclists, their passengers, and then pedestrians. This time around, especially the last 2 weeks, we have seen most of these people involved being the passengers in these vehicles that transport passengers. And And I've also already explained about it, that because these vehicles, most of them route to overtake in places where they're not supposed to overtake from. And it's not a character of that in these places we have their deployment. We know that most of these drivers drive out for where the deployments are. It's where they tend to comply with the strict rules and regulations. This is very risky. This is very risky. We have always moved around. We're sizing, you people here to just size and telling people every now and then that these are the causes. If we can avoid overtaking in those places and we can limit our example speed limit, I tell you, because these two things alone have always contributed to close to 50% of the total fatalities that we also register every other time we come out to talk of the statistics. So that's kind of it.
Now, you speak for the Traffic Department of Police. How effective have your measures been? Because we know most of the times you've come up with different measures. One, you come up with operations. We won't forget the Fika Salama. You have regular mounting sometimes or deployments in some dangerous spots. Have these all yielded any success?
Come again on that one, sir.
Your efforts to curb accidents as police, the traffic department more particularly. Sometimes we see your own spot checkings or deployments of traffic personnel. We've seen sometimes when it's too much, you carry out specific operations like the Fika Sarama and many named different names. Of what impact have these been?
Well, I may not really measure the impact, but what I know and what you also people know is that we have never stopped enforcement. We have never stopped enforcing on these traffic laws and regulations every day. Also doing the sensitization. We may not really compare the two to see whether the crashes, because even the increase would be out of the too much sensitization that now people can report every other crash that occurs. Wherever it could be or remote it could be, then we get the information of these crashes. These crashes could be maybe have increased due to public sensitization. However, we know what is even right now ongoing around the town. The enforcement is heightened, and the more operations will be still to come soon. Only that I ask the motorists to continue to comply. We have intended as drivers of only complying when we know that there are these operations, which is very risky. And what I can tell people is that let them make sure that they have everything, their vehicles are in good condition, and everything is okay before they get onto the roads, because these operations will continue to bite and even tackling more other areas that we have not tackled yet. Even sensitizations, especially, we have seen us here move everywhere. We have tackled schools, we have gone to border riders and engaged them, drivers, taxis, buses, everywhere.
Right.
Now, Afande, let me understand or get this from you clearly. When police stop Ugandans, they usually ask for a driver's license. But many Ugandans have driver's licenses, but they have never stepped in a driving school. And this sometimes is the reason they don't know, for example, the road signs, or call it road furniture, that, well, this is a sharp corner, signs that would warn them, you know. So what is police doing, or what plans do you have to ensure that not only drivers in Uganda can show a driving license, but they went through a driving school and actually this are fit to be on road?
Mr. Chiramo, I think you have taken long minors. You need, I think, to visit the IOD, the Inspectorate of Vehicles, at Naguru, and see what is taking place. Most of these things have actually been modernized and computerized, that people now take on even interviews on the systems, and they interviewed, and there are a lot of things, there are a lot of improvements there. And I think what you have just talked about, that people have friends where they are not going to schools, I think one of the days there, those things are no longer there. We ensure that whoever has a license has passed the exam, where they issue both oral and the practical. Some can even be got online. And I want to tell you that some people have failed. Those that fail do not go ahead to get licenses. Really, there are a lot of improvements. You need to check there and see what is ongoing. Let's not talk from the past, where people would now go and get licenses from NASA, from anywhere. That is no longer there. That is really not part of as of recent. So whoever has a license, we are sure that he has passed through the driving school, and then tested by our team, and then issued that license by the Uganda Drivers License Company.
All right, thank you very much, Afande, for your time this morning and for giving us a picture as to what it looks like for the police department.
Thank you.
All right, have a good morning. Now, in case you're just joining in, first and foremost, you're welcome. This is Good Morning Uganda, and it's time for The Real. We had to quickly grab SP Michael Kananura, the spokesperson of the Traffic Police of Uganda, to just speak into us as to the report that has just been released in today's dailies. 36 have been so far recorded as the death number in just 2 months since the start of the year. Road crash deaths rise to 36 in just a space of 2 months. That is alarming. February and rather January into March, and it's what we're looking at. And the question on there for you to speak into is on the poll that is on our X handle, as well as on your screen for you to be part of. The question being, which strategies can effectively address and reduce the rising cases of road accidents in Uganda? In your opinion, what do you think those strategies are that can effectively address and reduce the rising cases of road accidents in Uganda? The hashtag is UBCGMU at UBCTV Uganda on X, but you can also simply just send a text WhatsApp message on 0709 602 592. Robert, what do you make of the insights that SP Michael Kananura has given us?
Well, first, I want to say this, and I'll always say it. I'm going to ask you to do for me something, Judy. Please look up the definition of the word accident.
All right.
Look out for that definition, because when I read this report, when I read many writings and I hear accidents, I don't believe what we have in Uganda, majority of them are actually accidents. Have you found the definition?
Well, according to the internet, it's an unplanned, unintended, and often undesirable event that occurs without expectation or deliberate intent, resulting in injury, damage, or harm. Basically that.
2 words there, without expectation or deliberate. Now, when you listen to Michael Kananura, the spokesperson of the Directorate of Traffic in Uganda, one thing that is clear, he talks about these are preventable. Therefore, they are not accidents.
Right.
Why am I saying so? When you talk about overtaking, and he says overtaking in dangerous spots or corners, believe you me, you very much know that when I'm overtaking, where my vision is not clear or sight, I can have I can hit somebody.
Right.
I can overturn this car. 2, overspeeding. You very much know that when I overspeed, anytime I can crash into someone or into another car. Now, are those accidents? And would I, with the little knowledge of my English, say yes, that is an accident.
Right.
Majority of what we call accidents in Uganda are not accidents. Julie, in Uganda, someone will tell you, my brakes are not okay. Not okay, no. Now, you want me to say, when that person fails to brake, that he was involved in an accident? He left well knowing, I drive, I ride. He left well, but there is an accident I've ever had in my very youthful age. And the truth is, I was over speeding. And as I was on my bed, I remember very well saying, fortunately it was on a border, but I led this person to an accident. Because I kept on telling him, yangwa, nina gweninda, mpebi ntukubasa agenda.
Right.
And so, what we have, first let's understand as Ugandans, these are not accidents. An accident, I'm sorry to use this word, should be an act of God or Satan. In fact, let me use an act of Satan, because God doesn't wish us bad. You know, like when you're driving under a tree, abruptly, an electric pole falls, you know, you're driving a cow. And you hit it.
Just to speak into what you say, that what we call accidents is not necessarily an accident. I'm reminded of Tamale Wilson, Mr. Tamale Wilson, one we usually host here on the show, of Country View Driving School. He always makes a statement that before you get into your vehicle, first check it yourself. In other words, actually wake up early, check your, inspect it from the engine, the oil, is the oil enough? And these are some of the things he even teaches at his driving school. He teaches you to check
the wipers, the most important, the brakes, these, you call them side mirrors, you know? So they are critical things. And
so before you drive off, you know the condition of your vehicle
now,
and you know the plan.
Now, away from the vehicle not being fit to be on the road, and we're not talking of a DMC, but a vehicle can develop a complication. But Ugandans, he will say, after work, I'll pass by the mechanic. You have your children, you're taking them in this car. Second, a Ugandan will tell you, you know, you have a flight. I'm sorry to use this example. This is one common thing. You have a flight at the airport. You know you're setting off, say, at 4. Okay, your check-in time. But the person says, no, when we use the Entebbe Express, 30 minutes will be enough for us. You're waiting to say bye-bye to your brother who was delayed, and you're timing yourself. Now you're over speeding because you've not planned very well.
Right. Now, just to bring up to speed, you who's just joining in and you're wondering what exactly about accidents are we talking about, let's look at a bit of statistics for you to get a clearer picture. Well, 36 first and foremost have been recorded as the number of deaths in just 2 months. Just 2 months.
That's according to the Daily Monitor.
According to the Daily Monitor, yes. And the majority of incidents result both in fatalities and injuries involving motor vehicles, with passengers emerging as the hardest hit group. From last year's traffic report, road users, pedestrians were the hardest hit group. This time around, it's different. It's passengers. And a total of 5,144 deaths were recorded as caused by accidents, according to the police annual crime report 2024.
We lost
5,144.
In 1 year.
In 1 year. That's 2024. Now, I wonder what last year looks like. I hope it reduced. When the police crime report eventually comes out, I hope the number has reduced from 5,000. But as of 2024, it was 5,144 passengers, all dead in road accidents, with 14 deaths per day.
Now, when we talk about 14 deaths a day, that means we are losing a taxi.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
A taxi every day. Fellow Ugandans, we are losing a taxi every day. Yet this could be preventable. The accidents, most of the accidents we have in our country are not accidents. They are preventable. So what does this mean? First, driver discipline. If there is anything, is driver discipline. What does it include in driver discipline? One, planning your journey right. Me, I've learned over a time that if I'm late, I'm late. I don't rush. Fellow Ugandans, if I'm late, I'm late. But driving very fast because I've woken up maybe very late, or I've been caught up here, I don't mess with the road, because you're not sure. You take longer in hospital. May not be privileged to get to hospital. Think about that.
Right.
And remember, there is nothing worth your life. Someone has promised you a deal, come and pick this money, me I'm going, and you're rushing. For the taxis and this commuter, you want to drive, book, they call it, some taxi drivers telling me, a number on stage. Book this. By the end of the day, when you don't get there, you lose that money.
Still pointless.
So driver discipline, that includes planning your journey well. Driver discipline, that includes not over speeding. Because there's some people that are just habitual speeders. Even ask him, but man, we are going out. Why are you dry cruising at this speed? We are not, no one is going to get us late, but still habitual, and you feel proud. For me, your ancestors are calling you.
Well, which strategies can effectively address and reduce the rising case of road accidents in Uganda? Onto our X handle at UBC TV Uganda, and the hashtag is UBCGMU. Reading some of your comments, and Anderson Agaba says, by giving everyone who has 1 billion on account a lead car. Does that make sense to you?
Not even a single day. But of course, he's entitled to his views, because where he comes from. Because also these people with sirens have become a nuisance of our roads, on our roads. Some of them have become a nuisance on our roads.
Right.
Judy, someone has sirens, he only, he's not using it, but when he's getting to some, he wants to overtake, abruptly puts it on. There's that scare. And there are so many, actually. I don't know why so many Ugandans are having sirens.
Good morning, UBC. I'm Agaba Oscar, just from here in Kansanga. The main issue that causes road accidents are boda guys who are just reckless. This is Agaba Oscar. Thank you,
But
Agaba.
we've had many accidents and there is no boda person in them. The accidents we are talking about in the recent, few of them, you can attach them to boda riders.
All right.
Overspeeding, overtaking are the outstanding causes of these accidents.
Report, yes.
And in overspeeding, I don't see how a boda is making you to overspeed, or you making a wrong choice to negotiate a corner when your vision is not very clear.
That's true. Hi, Julie and Robert. Thank you for the show. This is teacher Egalagwa Edward from Buyende District. Lack of enough trained skills to some drivers who just learn from friends who got the training skills from learning institutions could be the cause of increased road accidents.
And I agree with teacher 100%.
Yes, me too.
Though the police spokesman of the traffic department watered this down. But this is what happens. Julie, I can teach you driving.
Right.
Now, when you've mastered driving, I go to a driving school and tell them to book me a test. Or I think there are some even who just go for these tests. Now, when you learn reverse parking and these few, you've not sat for the theory,
And the theory
in
is
a
very
driving
important.
school. I remember when my dad was emphasizing, even if you've learned, go to a driving school. Are you aware there are road signs that will warn you a sharp corner ahead?
That's true.
Now, even when you're driving at 80 or 90, and you see this sign ahead, because they reflect. If you went to a driving school, it comes to your mind that there is even if I've not seen it yet, let me reduce.
But also
my
different
speed.
warnings, rather different signs. If you're taught in driving school, they'll teach you that
what
there are
mean?
signs that mean warning and there are signs that mean now act.
So
you have to know which sign
if
is a
you learn
warning,
from
which sign is
friend,
an action. Yeah.
And you go for this test, and I won't rule out the corruption
Right.
that is embedded there, where you, of course, you will pass.
Right, let's begin to roll this conversation out. Good morning, Uganda. Kibeti Wycliffe. On my side, I think to avoid accidents in Uganda is to have discipline and respect for each other on the road. Sometimes discipline has to be enforced by fire, by force. Good morning, Julie and Nyonyintono's sufficiency of road traffic officers who as well choose to abide and not default to the traffic rules, plus alertness, bit of it, where some officers relax a lot on their jobs, forgetting these are people's lives they let run at risk. Then again, these types of roads are kind of new to the users and the passengers as well. There is need for regular lessons for public passenger vehicles and border borders in their use. Otherwise, some users are still reckless as they were, having been used to using the old roads. God bless you. This is Kenneth Bwayo from Kisubi. And finally, good morning, Uganda. We, the people of Kanungu, are happy with the new contracted road from Rukunjiri to Kanungu to Ishasha, Board, Congo. Congratulations. I think the road is very good, but it is killing our boys of border border. They don't know how to use tarmac road. We need to help and teach them. I'm Brian Wenger in Kanungu. Thank you, Brian, for being on.
Judy, before you close it or round it off, I want to urge anyone, if you want to understand the corruption in traffic police, the ones we deploy on our roads, hire a lorry, hire a fuso, a canter, to take something for you and sit in front. Just keep quiet. When these people are stopped, I did an investigative about this.
Right.
They don't even greet the police officer. They move with change. So afande.
So corruption is also...
if you're driving on the road and there is a lorry in front of you, a fuso, a canter, either loading or not,
right,
watch and see. They are always the key targets of these traffic passion.
In other words, corruption is another cause. On top of overspeeding and careless overtaking, corruption should be top of the two. Bringing this to a close, Timo Brian, you're sending voice notes, but unfortunately we're able to get the information you are allaying. So just text is how we communicate here on Good Morning Uganda. For now, let's close it here and get into JMU Tourism Express. We'll be back with business on Robert's side, and I'll be back with the agenda. Good morning.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio. Take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, twice a day. Don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Genshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
Juko.
Yo.
Wachiko. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Uganda, haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. But what you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda. Brought to you by Uniquely ours. Explore Uganda.
Yes, morning once again. Felix, my name. Your guide, I'm so excited to receive you all this morning as my clients. You are almost welcome, specifically at the top of Masho National Park. You are almost welcome. Before we go for another activities, allow me to give you the highlight about Masho National Park, how it came into existence as well as River Nile. The local name of Masho National Park, it was called Kabalega National Park. And Kabalega was the king of Bunyoro. Kabalega was known to be as one of the great fighters in this region, of which some years back he fought the British until he defeated. Having defeated the British, that is when he made the name of this park to be known by its name as Kabalega National Park. As I talk now, Kabalega is no longer alive, he died. But his son called Solomon Gafebusa Igure I is now the king of Bunyoro. And the name of Kabalega National Park has been changed to and Masho National Park, it is found in northwestern Uganda. It is also bisected by the Victoria Nile from east to west, covering a distance of about 115 kilometers. Here, waters from the Nile River, it flows through a narrow gorge of 7 meters wide. It then flanked deep 45 meters, resulted into what is termed as the world's most powerful waterfalls. And that's now the Mashon Falls. The one who named Mashon Falls was one of the British called Sir Samuel Baker. He named the falls Mashon Falls after the geologist called Roderick Markshon, the president of the Royal Geographical Society. That was the year 1864. However, Masho National Park, Mashon Falls was also able to give birth to the second falls called Uro Falls. Uru Falls is an Kiswahili language, which means Freedom Falls. In Uganda here we call it Independent Falls. Reason being, it happened in the time when Uganda was being liberated freely from the British. That was the year 1962. And also that very year, Uganda experienced heavy rain called El Nino rainfalls. Everywhere in Uganda has got floods, forcing the water which could pass through a narrow gorge of 7 meters wide only to be diverted. They are now leading to the formation of the second falls, which we are calling it Uru Falls or Freedom Falls. So that's how Mashon Falls came into existence. I surely all of you, for the people who have not yet come here sometimes back, get ready to receive a free natural showering. Are you ready for that? Yeah. But before us going down, allow me to talk a bit about River Nile. River Nile, it has got major 3 facts. 1, this is the only river which is known to be as one of the longest river in the world. Stretches right from the source of Lake Victoria up to Mediterranean Sea, covering a distance of about 6,665 kilometers. Secondly, it's also the only river which has been discovered to be flowing in opposite direction. That is from south to north instead of north to south. Lastly, it's known as the world's most powerful waterfalls. Let us see how it started and how it ended. When Lake Victoria was full with much water, water started looking its own ways, through meandering. Not east, not west, but from south. It forced itself to open its outlet through meandering to the point called Lake Kyoga. And Lake Kyoga, being its size too small, it also opened its outlet through meandering to the point called Karuma Falls. Karuma Falls also protruding to the point called Mason Falls, and this is where we are going within a few minutes. So from these falls, Mason Falls will protruding to the next basin called Lake Albert. And remember, from Lake Victoria up to Lake Albert, we are calling it Victoria Nile. And why are we calling it Victoria Nile? Because the water which is flowing to Lake Albert is coming from the main lake called Lake Victoria. Then from Lake Albert, we'll protruding to the next point called the Albert Nile. At this time, we are calling it the Albert Nile because we have considered Lake Albert to be the major lake. Then from Albert Nile still we'll protruding to the point called the White Nile. And of course, the White Nile will emerge together with the Blue Nile, which is in the north of Ethiopia, south of Sudan, a place called Khartoum, and pours into Mediterranean Sea, a place called Alexandria, which is in Egypt. So that's all about Mason National Park as well as River Nile. It's the right time for me to welcome the question. Any question? Any question? Have you all got what I've given? Are you satisfied with it? Are you ready for showering? Okay, so for now, we shall take this direction. I request you, let us walk carefully because where we are going, because of the constant spraying of the water, has made the place to become a bit slippery. So we do consider safety first. That's why I said let us now walk there carefully, yeah? Yes, we give the way in a single file there. No running, no hurry, yeah? Yeah. Well.
Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda. Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
And now let's look at the business world, beginning with a very interesting story regarding conflict of interest, where Moroto municipality illegal structures demolition exercise turned dramatic after Moroto outgoing mayor wanted the exercise to be suspended after finding his container being demolished. Let's take a look at this story.
Okukola ekibuga Moroto nga bwe kyalambikibwa okwetooloola eggwanga lyonna kutandise mu mbeera ey'obukakamu era ku luguudo Laya ekisangibwa mu Northern Division oluvannyuma lwa nsalessale wa wiikisi bbiri ezaaweebwa abasuubuzi okwamuka ebifo ebyo enteekateeka eneetandise olwaleero. Abasuubuzi ababadde bataggyeemu byabwe balabiddwako nga bakola mu kwanguyiriza bwe balabye ebiwettiye bitandise okukola. Fred Obalim nga mukwasiza w'amateeka mu Moroto Municipal Council yabadde nannyini konteina eno okuva eyo mu mwaka ogw'2016 wabula nga naye tattiddwa ku liiso.
The problem is Moroto here. We lack commercial building. Most if you are to see compared to the population we have here. That's why most business were resorted to containers.
Wabula embeera katono eve mu nteeko meeya wa munisipaali aliko kati bw'ayagadde okulagira ekikwekweto kino kiyimirizibwe kubanga babadde bamukutta awaluma anti ne konteina ye nayo tetaliziddwa.
Said suspend the operation should anybody go to my people. I want to tell my people Moroto, be ready to fight
us and fight, die in the battle. We can't accept. This is an NRM government, this is not a means government. So all the police withdraw.
Agezezzaako okwesimba mu maaso ga konteyina okulemesa abakola era agezezzaako n'okuyita abakkaanya naye batiteganye enteekateeka eno. Abasuubuzi abamu babadde bamwagira nga bategeeza nga Karamoja bwettanaba kukulaakulana kutuusa kumenya budduka bw'abantu mu kibuga wabula ng'abalala bagamba nti bw'eba munisipaali n'okulwawo baalwa dda.
We are supposed to move, but why don't you give us time? People have small loans, people are trying to survive very hard ways. And you know Karamoja is a place that has just come out of this. Sure, yeah. Why should you make us have these hearts of hatred?
Permanent buildings. Since we need a city, we need Moroto to be clean. And we need people to start building, planning structures which can really look like it is a town. You look at now, new districts which have just started, they are developing than Moroto, which is the mother district. So I really appreciate the idea of the town club.
Which people? These guys of UEDC, they have taken the meat. Why? There's no that they are going to keep it for us, as if we can't keep for ourselves here.
Town clerk wa Moroto Richard Eyalo yeebazizza abasuubuzi abagondedde enteekateeka eno naddala ab'omu South Division. Ono yeekokkola bannabyabufuzi abaagala okuwabya abantu.
Exercise is not stopping. We are not stopping the exercise. That's why you see we are now in South Division. But the good news is that people from this division have complied. 80% have complied.
Ssentebe wa South Division asabye abasuubuzi bongerweyo obudde ekintu Eyalo kyakaanya nakyo.
So as Moroto, we are adapting urban characteristics at the national microcosm. But for the trade order, it is okay.
Send to requests for, like you see this man here with this structure. Said we give him up to the end of the day today. We can even give him up to tomorrow because he's showing that he's compliant.
Wabula abannannyini bizimba abamu babadde batandise okuzimba obuyumba obutali ku pulaani era nga balagiddwa okuyimiriza enteekateeka eyombagirawo.
Revenue on illegal development and people are constructing on road reserves and service lanes. It's affecting the development.
Okusanyaawo obuyumba obw'ekimpatiira kiragiro ekyaweebwa omutesitesi omukulu minisitule ya gavumenti ez'ebitundu eri abakulembeze b'ebibuga byonna ku mutendera gwa munisipaali ne city. Moroto Municipality ebadde ku salino okuviira ddala ku mulembe gwa Idi Amin wabula n'okutuusa leero babadde basoomoozebwa okuteekerateekera ekibuga mu ngeri ey'obukkakkamu naddala kasasiro n'ebirala ebiriibwa ebityo. Moriniga yakusakidde bino.
Well, that followed an expiry of a 2 weeks notice for all illegal premises out of the municipal council. And moving on, stakeholders in Uganda's nuclear energy sector have appealed to government on fast-tracking compensation, strengthening public sensitization and addressing information gaps for the Buyende nuclear power project progress. Let's take a look at this as well.
Uganda's nuclear energy program targets up to 24,000 megawatts of installed capacity in the long term, with Buyende district earmarked for the country's first nuclear power plant. The project will begin with a demonstration reactor before scaling up to about 84,000 megawatts, with an initial 1,000 megawatts planned for connection to the national grid by 2031. At a stakeholder sending session in Kampala, We Planet Africa coordinator Patricia Nanteza called for a centralized platform to provide accurate and sensible information in nuclear energy.
We do not want to develop an engagement roadmap that does not speak to the real concerns of the people. We wanted to hear what do the people want to understand so that we find the right information and then provide it to them. The community in which the nuclear power plant is going to be constructed urgently need real money, cash, They want to be compensated for their land so that they move on and their life stops being at a standstill. So we call upon the government to actually address this issue in the immediate, in the now. Let the people know how much are they going to be compensated per acre, per half acre, and then release that money so that they can go on, move on with their lives, and the construction of the nuclear power plant can also start.
A member of the East African Legislative Assembly, Veronica Babide Kadogo, said nuclear energy will help Uganda meet rising electricity demand.
Kubeera nga balina amasanyalaze buli kaseera n'ensonga ey'okukendeezaako bbeeyi kubanga amasanyalaze ga bbeeyi omuntu wa bulijjo tafuna amasanyalaze naye nuclear plant enaaba ezimbiddwa amasanyalaze megawatts zigenda kweyongerako amasanyalaze gabeere mangi nga tegavaako buli kaseera.
Buyende District Woman MP-elect Sarah Namlondo said compensation uncertainties have disrupted daily life.
Abantu bamanyisibwe ekigenda mu maaso, abantu basasulibwe kubanga bwe balwawo okusasulwa jjukira ettaka buli lukya lyeyongera value, lyeyongera bbeeyi. Ekintu bakyanguye abantu bamanye ngenda ddi kubanga kati district ekugamba nti amakubo ge yago mu kyalo tebakyagakola, nayikonta tebakyazirongoosa, bamanyi nti saawa yonna abantu bavaawo. So ngamba abantu beeraliikirivu, tebamanyi kiddako, tebamanyi gye balaga, so nsaba bayambibwe.
Rebecca Natongo, Susan Nabgude for UBC News.
Moving on, the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance, Dr. Amina Zawede, has emphasized the postal service in delivery to the last mile solution to consumers, despite the rapid growth of the digital communication. She was at the 44th Ordinary Session of the Pan-African Postal Union Administrative Council in Uganda. Leaders discussed the future of postal services in the digital world,
calling for strategies that integrate and utilize their services. While letters are no longer the dominant form of communication, the rise of e-commerce has kept postal systems highly relevant. Experts say that even in a digital age, physical delivery remains essential. This was the core objective of the meeting organized under the Pan-African Postal Union.
Today, the delivery of parcels is still irrelevant. For example, even if you went and bought shoes online, you cannot download those shoes. They have to be delivered to your doorstep. If you want a passport today, you have to get it delivered to you because you cannot download the physical document. So the postal services are still relevant because they help us to deliver the last services to the citizens at their doorsteps.
From online shopping to passport delivery, logistics networks bridge the gap between digital transformation and physical goods. In Uganda, partnerships between postal services and delivery platforms ensure parcels reach customers.
In the future, the role of designated operator will shift from delivering letters to deliver parcels, e-commerce goods, and to organize an efficient communication with its citizens. For us, Uganda case is an exemplary one.
The Universal Postal Union, which marks over 150 years of existence, has praised Uganda for its progress in adapting postal systems to modern demands.
The post office remains a very important infrastructure for every government across the world, and especially in Europe, in Africa. Seeing that in Africa we have postal outlets available almost everywhere, including in rural areas. So they then present an opportunity of pushing government projects and government programs.
Discussions are focusing on African postal networks' involvement into hubs for digital trade, financial services, and cross-border commerce.
So there is no way one would say that the postal is dying. Yes, postal issues have challenges in this country, but for the past 4 years we see even parcels being handled when you look at the postal and courier services.
Mary Namkose, UBC News.
And now we look at the insurance sector, which has been highlighted as a key pillar in securing a stable and sustainable future for Ugandans. The Chief Executive Officer of the Insurance Regulatory Authority, Alhaji Kaduna Birubega, at the opening of the annual Insurance Week at Constitutional Square in Kampala, said the initiative connects players in the insurance sector with the public on a wide range of benefits.
These are our new sponsors.
The Chief Executive Officer, Insurance Regulatory Authority, Dr. Alhaj Kaduna Birubega, says members of the public can better understand the dynamics of the insurance industry. He was officially opening the 2026 Annual Insurance Week on the theme, Future Elikushua, Be Insured.
We are encouraged to have Insurance Week is because when we move out of the offices and come to the public, the response has been that people have benefited by visiting the various stalls and they have been explained what insurance is all about. This is a good initiative which we started about 5 to 6 years ago.
The regulator emphasized the importance of insurance for people from all walks of life, noting that there are a variety of insurance products tailored to meet the needs of different segments of the population.
Ugandans need insurance as a backbone of the stable and secure future. When Ugandans embrace insurance, they gain peace of mind, they gain protection against the unexpected risks, and indeed their confidence this brings to safeguarding their hard-earned earnings.
Despite insurance uptake in Uganda being low, initiatives like the annual Insurance Week, which take insurance services from boardrooms to the streets, will enhance public awareness, particularly among ordinary citizens.
We've gotten a chance as insurers to get to the people that we insure. Let us build the momentum. Let us not waste this chance and get back to our offices and relax.
The association has decided to focus on the digital sticker system. With the introduction of the digital motor third party insurance system, motorists can now verify the insurance instantly. It has also eliminated fraud, and people can now buy insurance seamlessly using their phones.
Dennis Igoa for UBC Business.
And now let's look at what the Forex has for us as of the 23rd of March 2026. Now the US dollar opening was at 3,776.14 and selling at 3,786.14. By midday, the US dollar was at 3,790.45 and was selling at 3,800.45. As of closing, the US dollar was at 3,774.55 and selling at 3,784.55. The Great Britain pound closing was at 5,058.65 and selling at 5,072.43. The euro was at buying at 4,372 and 0.43 and selling at 4,385.15. The Kenyan shilling was buying at 29.10 and selling at 29.20. The Tanzanian shilling was at 1.44, buying and selling 1.47. The South African rand was at 224.04. That is buying and selling at 224.69. Well, you can move around, but that is what it was as of the 23rd 3rd of this very month and year. For all your business information, well, catch you tomorrow, same time.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Pick of the day on UBC. Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah yo, baby dondolo.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks, Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21 hash and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio. Take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning. Eat twice a day. Don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Genshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
Juko. Yo. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a poultry project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
My question is, what is the difference between rental tax and income tax? How comes I'm paying both taxes on my own premises? If you want to have a tin, but you are not making any income from your business, you should take on the obligation to continue filing your nil return.
Commissioner General, to invest in taxation, when people understand taxes and they know the importance of taxes and they know the fair assessment of these taxes they're supposed to pay, I think everybody will embrace taxation.
As banning groupage cargo, clearance protects small traders who cannot afford to import full container loads individually and rely on consolidation to remain competitive. Cargo to come in groupage is consolidation, it's legitimate, and we can't ban it. What we have banned, or what we have stopped, is the use of container leaders. Now, Fiona, the good news I have for you is that among the new tax proposals,
now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887 and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Boozer Commissioner.
Every Wednesday, live in our studios in the heart of Kampala.
We have to change the political culture in this country, really. Who has bewitched Ugandans?
I want to assure you, as government, we shall do whatever it takes to ensure that Ugandans are safe.
We have conversations that have analysis, explanation.
This law society, this union of theirs, because they want a job everywhere, they want to be this, they want to be that, they want... No. We know it's a union.
You cannot be making a road, bitumen grade 1, in Congo for 5 billion.
But not every truth is fact, and not every fact is truth.
The argument that the General Court Martial is responsible for peace and stability is without basis, either in law or in fact.
We have been told how Napoleon was a great orator. Now, Napoleon cannot help me get food. They told me combine harvesters in Saskatchewan. I don't know where Saskatchewan is. This is a geography we're taught. Instead of teaching me how to preserve Mabera forest, they're teaching me about Rhineland. This is a problem we got. We cannot run away from it.
Right now, you hear very disgusting stories of members of parliament. Instead of discussing the details of loans, they ask for their cuts.
Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. on your public broadcaster.
All on your public broadcaster. UBC, inspiring Uganda. In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archived stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Juko. Yo. What you go? Check the shopping, man. What's your secret? Haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM? Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk. No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving. Juko. I thought I was one of your friends. You are. But you left me behind. I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Our program of poverty eradication is a must. We want everybody to be involved.
Through the parish development model, Ugandans are starting small but impactful projects to improve their livelihoods.
When we give 1 million, we know it's not enough to do many things, but it's a starting point.
I'm a PDM beneficiary, a farmer. Your Excellency, I was given 1 million Uganda shillings from Kobil Kawo PDM Circle. Your Excellency, I got 20 bunches from my small piece of land sold, got 400,000, put in the PDM farm, Your Excellency, in the PDM money, Your Excellency, I bought a cow of 1,400,000.
In 1 year, 100 families in the parish get. In 5 years, 500 families would have got.
We were the first people to receive money from Nakapiriprit. I received $1 million. I rented 4 acres of land and I was able to harvest 14 bags.
So really this 1 million is enabling somebody to start something. Yes, and we don't want to give too much money to one person because we have got very many people to cover.
The parish development model empowers the people, focusing on lifting up the masses and creating opportunities that ensure prosperity for all. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance.
Nasooka okwebaza omukulembeze w'eggwanga okututeekateeka. Twali tetunnaba kuteekebwateekebwa, twafuna okusoomoozebwa nga kungi nnyo. Omuli okutukwata abasirikale, olumu nga tetulina na kitukoze. Kale nga n'akasente k'oba osonzeewo ggwe nga ggwe akagenda okukuyambako mu bizibu byo, nga weekanga okawadde abasirikale. Naye okuva ffe ghetto structure we yayimirirawo ebintu bingi byakyuka. Abaana baffe tebakyabakwata nnyo okuggyako abo abamenyi b'amateeka. Ne be bakutte nga babakwatidde mu ghetto nga ekikwekweto kibadde kiyise. Nabo tulina omukisa ogugenda okubaggyayo. Abasirikale batuwulira. Abasirikale batuwulira. Toyinza kugenda ku poliisi n'ogamba DPC nti bakutte omwana wange ng'akumanyi nti oli komanda. N'atateekayo nnyo maanyi kukola ki? Kumugjayo. Ne neebaza bakama baffe Jeno Damulira, Afande Kuteesa, nange tweyanziza nnyo mukoze kyamaanyi, bo bakoze kyamaanyi nnyo tuteekateeka. Kuba bwe twamala okuyingira ghetto structure ne batuteekerawo n'essako ne certificate twazifuna. Kati batteekerawo ssako eyo, era muzeeyi n'amala n'atuukiriza kye yatugamba n'atuteekeramu ssente. Era kati eno essaawa gye tuliko tuwola abaana, tuwola ba ghetto youth ababadde balina bizinesi zaabwe naye nga zibulamu ebyokukola. Tugenda tubawa okutwaliza wamu kati tuli bulungi, tetuli bubi nnyo, era twebaliza ddala President Museveni okutukolera ekintu ekyo kuba mubutuufu twali.
Njagala okwebaza olw'enteekateeka eno gavumenti gye yatondawo ey'okulaba nga omuntu wa wansi, omuntu omuwejjero wa ghetto afiibwako. Nti nga ghettos eriyo embeera eyaliwo nga si nnungi. Okugereza ddala mu nteekateeka eno nga tennajja, abaana bangi baakwatibwanga, naye bukya enteekateeka eno ejja, bintu bingi bituukiddwako, naddala mu nteekateeka z'ebyokwerinda, security, wamu n'enkulaakulana. Nga tuyita mu nkola gye bayita eya ghetto structure. Ghetto structure kwe kulonda obukulembeze okuviira ddala ku ghetto esookebwako ku kyalo, ne tubeera ne ba coordinators ku muluka paka eno gye tuli. Omwaka guno yatuwa ssente obukadde 10 wano emikono twabufuna. Era mu nfuna ya ssente zino twagala okwebaza Oweekitiibwa President. Ssente zino ziyambye nnyo abantu ba ghetto. Abantu ba ghetto nakubadde gavumenti ebadde n'emiwaatwa mingi gyeyisaamu ssente zaayo okutuuka ku bantu zibayambye. Naye ssente ezo zibadde tezituuka ku bantu ba ghetto. Ssente zino bannaghetto tuzibawadde era bazifunyeemu. Ebiseera ebisinga wali emabega abantu ba ghetto abamu baali bennyamivu nga bamanyi nti gavumenti yabavaako, era ng'osanga abantu abamu mu ghetto nga tebalinaamu nsonga. Oli akugamba ekimbeeza mu ghetto noonyeza emirimu mu Uganda wonna gibuze. Twagala okusima pulezidenti w'eggwanga kubanga ssente ze yatuwa twazifuna, era gwe guno omulundi ogwasookera ddala nga bannaghetto mu Uganda. Era twagala okumwebaza okutwagalira ddala n'atuwa ne ku ssente ezikola. Ffenaffe twagala kumusuubiza nti abalaba gye bamulabira nti akadde ate kati ffe olw'okuba yaakatutandikako tulaba nga yaakavubuka, era twagala n'okumulaga amaanyi 260 oba ki ebyatuswaza edda mu mukono twagala okubimalawo mu 2026 tugatteko amaanyi tumwebaze olw'omutima ogwagala abantu ba bulijjo naddala ffe bannaggeto.
Ghetto structure okusooka ffe twali twepima nga ghetto structure tenabeerawo, bali batugoba nga bintu si byakubeera nga tusobola okumiitinga, mumwali temusobola na kutumiitinga. Batulaga bagenda tulondesa obukulembeze, ne batulaga nti tulina okweteekateeka, ne batulaga nti mu bayamba mulina okubeera ne sako. Era essaawa zino eno n'akasente tukayina mwe kali mu ofiisi tukakozesa ba beneficiaries abantu ab'omu ghetto wansi. Tuyanziza nnyo His Excellency the President of Uganda, Brigadier General Damulira, Major Emma Kuteesa, House Controller, anti-ghetto, tumuyita anti-ghetto. Structure kati mulimu nze nagufuula mulimu. Office eno ghetto structure mulimu kati gwenkola. Sikyalina kyenkola kyonna. Bannaye ba ghetto youth mwenna bakubiriza ghetto structure yazze n'emikono ebiri ebeere ng'etuyambako oba ng'etujjayo yonna gye tuli ng'etusupportinga mu buli kimu. Veeyo akasente mwe kali mu ofiisi ak'okwekulaakulanya mutuukire ofiisi, ensonga zammwe zonna zigenda kukolebwako.
In all these years, we emphasize two words, wealth and jobs. And we try to waken our people up to show them where wealth and jobs come from.
The Parish Development Model, PDM, is a bold initiative that is reshaping Uganda's rural economy. By allocating 100 million shillings to each parish annually, PDM empowers households by unlocking opportunities for wealth creation.
This program will be maintained. Each year we send 100 million for the parish. If you get the 1 million, you can buy some goats, you can buy some pigs, you can buy even young cows.
Farmers are transitioning from subsistence farming to commercial agriculture, laying the groundwork for wealth creation and improved livelihoods.
This project started 11 years ago after an inspiration from His Excellency. And that time I was working as a taxi driver. I was doing that Massa business in Soroti, and he was talking about how to improve household income.
With the PDM, you bring back the money after 24 months. But in the third year, you would get another 100 million paid back by those who got first.
The President's message is a mindset changer. Becoming rich does not mean you should have a lot of land, you should have a lot of education, you just need a vision and implement and start from where you are.
So therefore, this PDM is to get all of you out of poverty. That's why we said 100 million per parish per year.
This message is brought to you by the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance.
I'd love to take this opportunity to thank our President, Yoweri Kaguta Trihabura Museveni, by coming up with a Myoga program. We started in 2021 as Kasumi Parish Carpenters and Myoga Circle. When we received this amount of 30 million, we had a problem, we had a challenge of machines. We used to carry our wood and we would carry it up to Waise to be worked on. So when we got this chance, we are able to buy machines to ease our work of carpentry. At the moment, we are a number composed of 140 members. We have the women who come in and do saloon chairs. We have the men doing 3-drawer tables, 2-drawer tables, and different kind of furniture. Before the Myoga program came in, we had a lot of crimes taking place on this road. When this Myoga program came up, we managed to collect these youths. We gave them hope that you can change from stealing, and we can give you skill so that you be someone in the society that will even help another person.
Kansoke ddala okwebaza omukulembeze w'eggwanga olw'emirimu emirungi gy'atutaddemu nga ffe abavubuka. Nze nno nze omu ku abo abaabeeranga ku kkubo okwo emisana n'ekiro ng'oluusi olw'okuba naffe tunoonya ekyokulya nga gwakiyina oba mmwe twakiyitanga b'amalala bagenda beerabisa nga tubagwamu munnange era nga tuba tulina obikuggyako naffe ne tubaawo. Naye munnange neebaza kyamani wange wa wano yankwatako nno wamu ne bannange twatandika okukozesa mashini zino tandika okuwawula okulanda okukola dizayini emmeeza zino tuzifulumya entebe bwe ziti tulina emirimu gye tutandikirako emyangu okugeza ng'okufulumya obumotoka buno. Kano akamotoka n'omwana omuto w'emyaka 5 akafulumya. Bw'ova mu kufulumya akamotoka kano owawula okukwata oluwawu n'owawula emmeeza ng'eno n'ebeera smooth. Oluvaawo nga bakutwala ku mashini eno olubaawo olukole bwoti tutambwe bwe ntyo ndi wa mukisa byonna saabisasulira. Najja wano ne bangamba President Museveni bino ebyuma yabituwa. Byammwe mulina okuba nga mubikozesa. Omukisa ne ngutwala era neebaza kuba kati newe mba nvudde wano ne ngenda ewalala. Newe ngenda Sudan nsobola okusigala nga ndi mulimu gwe gumu ogw'obubazzi ne gumbeezaawo wamu ne famire yange. Ku saving wange bimu ku byentereka bwe bampa akasente kange nfulumya emmeeza ng'eno bino kiri wano si kya kiyamaani waffe nedda wano tulinawo itemu zaffe kati ku ssaawa eno zonjogera wano ninawo emmeeza ezange 5 n'entebe 12 ezitambulira ku mmeeza ezo nga zange era nga zo ne baba bazituuze wali sente baziwanze oluusi emirimu n'emirala ne gijja ne bagala twafunye omulimu bwe guti mujje mufulumye entebe buzo wano zino bwe zitimu gakukola sente bwe kityo emyoga gino okuba nagyegattako bingi byenfunye. Edda nze nalinga sisobola kusasula nnyumba gye mbeeramu era nja kunoonya gye ngenda okusula mu mifulejje era eyo mifulejje gye ngenda okusanga olte oli ajja atamidde nga ye ate alina n'essimu gy'amulisa. Kale ebintu ng'ebyo nze kati nnawe nsula era saawa weziwera nti zino saawa zakwebaka olwo nga nsimbula nga ngenda neebaka nawasa tadde n'abaana nno munnange sebo kulembeze weebale bageto yuti mwenna gye muli wabweru eyo temutya temwerumaluma nkata temudda mu biki temulobera mu projekiti za gavumenti kuba zino projekiti ziriwo kutuyamba ffe zaffe zirina kutuyimusa kututeeka ku ddaala ddala gwe lwonazoberamu abalala bazeegaseemu ffe nga tukola ki bweiba bwe bityo.
Because of this Myoga program, we have been able to pick such different youth, mentor them, we train them. After learning, they also go up, even start their businesses. We have people buying from us, schools, we have factories, companies. They come and give us very juicy contracts. And out of that, that's how we've managed to accumulate this amount of saving of 70 million. So I would love to thank the President of Uganda that because of the Myoga program, we've done what they call mindset change. Those who used to think of going for prostitution, we've captured them and changed their mind. They are here trying to do work, trying to get skills. Those used to steal, they are also here trying to get skills. We have been job seekers, but now we are no longer job seekers. We are job creators.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
for watching UBC TV. It's time for the agenda, and we'll come back from that break as well.